Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Clara, and today I have some wonderful products from Charlotte Tilbury to share with you, and I'm so excited. I am back with a lot of luxury makeup. I have bought so much stuff from Charlotte Tilbury and Tom Ford, and today I'm going to be reviewing part of my Charlotte Tilbury collection for you. I did pick up some of the new Charlotte Tilbury stuff from the Nordstrom anniversary sale, and that should be here about a week before the sale ends, so plenty of time for me to share my thoughts with you and help you decide whether or not these things are worth it. But for now, I thought I would talk about my existing Charlotte Tilbury collection since I've never really reviewed some of these products, even though I always meant to get around to it. And if you are looking for specifically the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows, I did just review those in a Charlotte Tilbury versus Tom Ford video, so I'm not going to be talking about them again here, but this is just kind of a collection of all the miscellaneous stuff that I have from her. And I just want to start this review off by saying that it's going to be a very positive brand review. I absolutely love Charlotte Tilbury. So let's jump right in and I will share some of my favorite makeup products with you all. I'm going to start with the thing that I actually wear every single day. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. It's in shade 1, but I originally bought also shade 2. Shade 2 is a little bit dark for me at the time. It's still a little bit dark for me even though I've gotten some sun. I'd say right now I'm between shades 1 and 2, but I'm still wearing shade 1. So obviously I like this one a lot, and I would have worn this one a lot more if it was my color. I'm hoping that if I get a little more sun in the summer, this will be closer to my color, but I think this is more for like NW or NC 25 and up, and pretty much the darkest I ever get is like a NW 20. So maybe I can find some use for this, but it's still a really great quality powder. And this one is very light. I can wear this even when I'm like a NW 15, and I also used it to set my under eyes today, and this is one of the best powders that I have for that just looks really natural. Sometimes I like to use a more purple powder to kind of brighten it, but if you're looking for a super natural effect, this one is absolutely great for that. You do have to be a little careful how much product you put on under your eyes with this though. If you put on too much, it can start to look cakey, so you just have to be really careful to apply a very small amount and it will keep you from creasing basically all day. This is a great powder. It almost feels like nothing on the skin, and it does set the makeup really well. I love it. I have nothing but good things to say about this particular product. My second most used product that I use almost every day is the Filmstar Bronze and Glow, and I do have a separate review on this product in particular that I will link down below. But let me just say that this is the sculpting contour shade that I actually use like 90% of the time, and this is just such a beautiful shade. I'm wearing it today as well. It's slightly warm, but it's still cool enough that it looks more like a shadow instead of like a streak of brown on your face. I don't really reach for the highlight as much, even though it's really beautiful. It's more on the very natural end of the spectrum and very subtle. And since I just have so many other highlighters that I adore, I just don't find myself reaching for this one as much. That's not to say that it's not a good highlighter, but just after owning this product for a few months, this is the thing that I always reach for. And the good thing about it is it does come in a couple different shades, so even if you have darker skin, she does have a compact that is meant for your skin tone as well. Choices. The thing that I use the third most often from her, maybe these are all like tied to be honest, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat. I don't really wear lipstick necessarily most days. I normally prefer just kind of a gloss, so that's why I don't wear this one as often. But this is the lip liner that I reach for. This is in Pillowtalk, and it just matches the color of my lips perfectly. Judging from all the reviews, it matches the color of a lot of lips pretty perfectly. And the thing about this is it creates a really beautiful kind of feathered edge to it without you having to do anything at all. And so it just kind of blends into your skin and looks really natural. It doesn't look like you've drawn a line on with this. And so that lets you like cheat your lips to make them look fuller without looking like a duck. I just got these rings from Anthropology, and I just waved my hand and I can hear the stones rattling around. That's not a good sign. It's really pretty though. I also have a small collection of lipsticks from her. And again, I don't wear lipstick too often because I really like my lips to be like wet because they're really dry, so I wear gloss all the time. But when I do wear a lipstick, I'm most often, like 70% of the time, I actually reach for the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in Pillow Talk. I do have a review of this one separately where I swatch it for you on the lips and on my hand as well. But this is one of her Matte Revolution lipsticks, and you can see that the bullet is kind of square on the tip. So that's supposed to let you like get into the corners of your lips easier. And I will say that in general, the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks are known to be very comfortable. I can say this is true. Because my lips are super dry though, I do find that after maybe about like half an hour to an hour, these feel a little bit dry on my lips, and I'll just like dab a gloss over the top of them. And when I do that, it doesn't really disturb the lipstick. The lipstick holds pretty well. So I do love these lipsticks. This color in particular looks so natural. It's almost like you don't have any lipstick on at all. Just because of the texture and then also the color of it. It's a beautiful nude. The first lipstick that I bought from her was Amazing Grace, and I swatched this and lip swatched this in the video that I did on the Filmstar Bronze and Glow, and I will link those below as well for you. This is another Matte Revolution, and you can tell by the square bullet. And this is just a beautiful, super wearable coral shade for people who are afraid of like orange coral lipsticks, because it has a lot of pink in it, so it just looks really natural and healthy and pretty. And it's also dark enough that it's not going to look like kind of neon orange if you have been disappointed by other coral lipsticks, but you want something that has a little bit of that like fun summer orangey pink feel. This one is amazing. I love this one. Again, it's called Amazing Grace. Whoops. Well, since I have accidentally rolled it all the way up instead of down, this is how much product is in here. They're not super fragile lipsticks either. Moving on to the other two, these are the Kissing lipsticks, which are her creamy, more traditional lipstick formula, and these are so hydrating. I love these. They're very comfortable. And the first one I picked up was in Valentine, and I reviewed this and lip swatched this with my Pillowtalk video. And this is a kind of pinky neutral nude color. And it's a little bit lighter than I would prefer, but at the same time you can still get away with wearing it even if you're somebody who is afraid of like a more neutral lip, or find like a neutral foundation-y color lip doesn't really look good on you. This might be a good option. It is a little bit lighter though, but super comfortable, super easy to reapply over itself. Obviously, because this isn't matte, it doesn't really have a lot of staying power, so if you like eat something it will come off, but you just and reapply and it is as good as new. I have obviously had a lot of coffee today. Alright, so then the new thing that I got, which prompted me to finally make my Charlotte Tilbury video, was this Kissing lipstick in Stoned Rose. And this is a really beautiful kind of darker neutral color, which would look amazing on like darker skin tones, I think, as kind of a nude lip. It is what I'm wearing today, and then I layered a highlighter and a lip gloss over it. But it's a beautiful color. You might not be able to tell just from looking at it because it does look very like neutral, but it does have quite a bit of like terracotta orange to it. Again, this is one of those lipsticks on the kind of oranger side of the scale that doesn't look orange on the lips. So it's really nice if you're looking for something a little bit different, something to go with anything you have that's more of a terracotta-y color. This is a beautiful lipstick. And before we move on, I've received some samples of her, what are they called, Hot Lips lipstick collection, and just from using the samples and from what I've read, I am kind of afraid of picking up some of those. I probably will at some point, but I've read that they're much more drying, and that is also what I experienced when I was using the sample. But sometimes the samples are different from the actual products. I would recommend, if you have very dry lips, to try her Kissing lipstick line first, and then try the Matte Revolution if you want something that has more staying power but is slightly less hydrating. I'm going to talk about my two other new products that I got from her, but first I was sort of talked into buying this Cheek to Chic blusher. Swish and pop, Cheek to Chic, switch, Cheek to Chic, Cheek to Chic. I was talked into buying this Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop blusher in Ecstasy. I went in there to get Love Glow and I walked out with Ecstasy because I was also buying the Dolce Vita palette, and this is kind of like the blush that goes with that Dolce Vita look. And the lady was like, oh no, Love Glow is gonna be way too light on you. You won't be able to see it. I think I'm gonna go back for the Love Glow blush, but in the meantime, I just wanted to talk about this. There's nothing really like wrong with it. It's my kind of like terracotta kind of blush that has a little bit of a golden sheen to it, but it's not like sparkly or shiny. And I just don't find myself wearing this one that much. It blends well, it's fine. It's just like not the color that I love. Yeah, if you're looking for a terracotta-y kind of neutral blush, you may love this, but it just was kind of boring. I'm sorry. It was a little bit boring, so I don't really recommend this particular one. I am super excited though because I did order her new bronze and blush. It looks like the Filmstar case, but instead of the sculpt it has a bronzer, and instead of the highlight it has a glowing blush. And when I swatched it in the store, I'd already ordered it online, so I was like, oh shoot, I can't buy two of them. But I swatched it in the store and the blush looked so fantastic, so I'm so excited for that. And I've had way too much coffee. Let's save the best for last. So the other thing that I picked up, because I was in the store and I was looking at the lipstick and lip gloss combinations, this is part of the Golden Goddess combination that's recommended with the Stoned Rose. It's kind of like a nudie brown color with golden sparkle in it. At first I thought this was supposed to be more of a kind of nudie lip gloss for people with very tan skin, and I still think that that would be a really beautiful combination. But when I saw this layered over Stoned Rose, I was like, oh, that's so pretty. That's part of the Golden Goddess combination, and that's what I have as the gloss over my lips today. It's really pretty both by itself and over the lipstick. So lastly, I am not sure what took me so long to jump on the bandwagon of the Bar of Gold highlighter. This has been limited edition and come back like a few times. I'm pretty sure it's gonna either just keep coming back seasonally or become part of the permanent collection, because she doesn't really have other highlighters besides the Filmstar Bronze and Glow. And let's see. So the thing that kind of deterred me from this for so long are a couple of things. So you can see it is insanely small. I opened the box and I almost missed it. I was like, oh, where's the Bar of Gold highlighter? Oh my god, it's right there. It's tiny. Let me show you. It was in the box next to these, and you can see it's like almost the same height as the lipstick. That doesn't make it a bad product, it just makes it very small. And the second thing that deterred me is I hate cardboard packaging. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. It looks and feels so cheap. It doesn't look super cheap when it's covered in gold, but it feels really cheap. And it was kind of an expensive highlighter for the size. The other thing that I was, by the way, this is super pretty and cute in here. Look at that. It's like a tiny little bar of gold. It has like the little printing on it and everything. It's adorable. But the other thing I was kind of unsure about, let's say, is mine is actually loose in here. If any of you have this, is it glued down in yours? Because I feel like I've never seen a chunk of solid highlighter loose in a box before. If I turned this over, it would fall out on my hand. Like, it's not secure in there at all. I'm worried about it when I start to use it and it gets a little bit smaller in there. Definitely you couldn't travel with this. So those are the bad things, and we can overlook them if you're crazy and like to spend a lot of money on highlighter like me. Because it is so glowy. Can you see this, you guys? It's like, oh, and it is just a beautiful golden highlighter. It's a beautiful golden highlighter that can be worn even if you are lighter in skin tone. Because I feel like for a while they were primarily releasing golden highlighters from brands that were geared toward more medium to deep skin tone, which of course you could still wear this. It would just be like a very beaming highlighter. But this one is lighter in tone. It definitely isn't champagne at all, though. It is like a light pale gold, and it has like the most amazing sheen. You could definitely make it more subtle if you wanted to, and there's also a really cool video on Charlotte Tilbury's Instagram that shows her using it as eyeshadow and basically all over the face, and it's just so glowy. That was when I knew I had to have this. I'm definitely going to try using it as eyeshadow too. Quick caveat though, I have to say that I do still prefer my Tom Ford golden highlighter in the Reflex Gilt Duo. It's just so pretty. It's slightly darker than this one, but something about the way it shines, it's just unique. It's really expensive though, so I can totally understand if you don't want to buy that one. This is a great alternative, but I don't think I will ever find another highlighter that replaces that one. It's really pretty. It's probably my favorite highlighter, even though because I'm pretty pale, I probably shouldn't be wearing like a gold highlighter. It's still my favorite, and it looks great to like blend out eyeshadows and stuff. Don't ask, it just works. It's perfect. This is very good though. Did I say we were going to end on a positive note? I think it's still a positive note. The Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold is very cute, and it works very well, and it's great for all skin tones in my opinion. So I think she does have a quality product there, even though it is a little bit smaller than most people expected, so I know that was a source of some grief for some people. Alright, so next time I either have some Tom Ford to share with you or some more Charlotte Tilbury and Guerlain, depending on if my Nordstrom order comes in before I make my next video. And briefly, I just want to mention I'm going to post this on my Instagram as well if you want to know more, but what I'm wearing on my eyes today is actually a couple of these little NARS eyeshadows. I believe they're called the Hardwired eyeshadows, and I mention them because they're limited edition, and I just think they're so pretty. These are the best colors from the line in terms of formula, because the formula is slightly different between them. These give the most color payoff, and they also have such a beautiful sheen and shine, and they go really well together. This is Stud, which is kind of a pewter gray silvery color, and it looks really good, like even in the crease as sort of like a neutral, but it's still interesting. You could wear it all over the lid too. And this is Pygar, which is my favorite. It's so pretty. It's supposed to be like, I think, an antique gold, but I would consider it more of a green gold. And it looks really great with brown eyes, with hazel eyes, with green eyes. It looks really, really good. And it's also incredibly shiny, and these products, they just pick up so well on the brush and deposit so well on the lid. I don't get any fallout. You could even just like wear one color all over the lid and it would still look like you have dimension. But I did kind of mix the two together today just to give it a little extra something. I thought I'd mention it in case you were interested or have been eyeing these yourselves. I know that they're sending around a $20 off of a $100 purchase at Sephora right now for VIB Rouge, so I thought I'd give you something to look at. And because of my success with these two little eyeshadows with my coupon, I did pick up a couple more NARS Rigel and NARS Callisto, which are another one of their individual eyeshadow things. So I'll probably post about that on Instagram because it's kind of small to make a whole video. I will see you again really soon. Don't forget to comment below your favorite Charlotte Tilbury products. I would love to hoard more from her line. I mean, investigate and review for you. Don't forget to hit that like button if you have enjoyed this video and if you like me on coffee. And I'll see you soon.